everybody. Welcome. I don't even have the game up. What's wrong with me? How's everybody doing? Happy Monday. Welcome back. It's wonderful for you all to be here today. Let's get this up and running so that you all can see this. So, hi. Happy Monday. Like I said, oh, that's really bright. I've got the game coming up in just a second here, so, oh, well, you guys can just see that. Well, never mind. Oh, well. What even was the point of anything that I was doing? It's fine. I'm just gonna skip all this. There we go. Okay, great. Hi! Welcome to the stream. We're playing more Cinderella Phenomenon today, doing Karma's route. So, some sword flirting, which is always appreciated and loved here on Slady's ATL. Today's shirt, I don't know if you guys can see it or care. It says, "In the name of the moon, I am tired," which is accurate for me right now. 31 weeks and counting, and it's a time. We're having a time. So yeah. We are going to be continuing the crocheted blanket that we've been working on for a while, because blankets take a while, but also I make an excuse of myself to just only work on the blanket during stream, because I don't know, I like having something to do while I'm trying to focus on bigger things like role-playing games or the easy to read side scroller novel games here. So yeah. Anyway, I think we can get started. I don't have any announcements or anything today. If you see me like looking off into the distance, checking on things, my son might be running in and out. You all have seen Oliver. You know him, you love him. Yeah, Dad is out of town at the moment, so it's just me and him. So I'll be trying to focus mostly on stream. He's got his games, he's got his milk, he's chilling out in PJs until we do bedtime. So when I do my break, that is when bedtime will be happening. Cool, great, excellent. Hey Abe, how's it going? Great. So let's get to it. Yeah, still working on little baby girl baby blanket, which I was listening to somebody the other day. This is just me chattering right now, while I wait for Jill. I'm waiting for Jill to get in here so that we can hang out and talk about all the shenanigans. Lately, as a mom, I have been dealing with the while I do not want to force gender stereotypes onto my children, I do recognize that really when they're young, they don't have that much of a gender identity. And while I don't want to force, my little girl to only wear pink and dresses and Oliver to only wear blues and pants and play with cars and play with dolls and that sort of thing, I do recognize that they were both born either male or female. And that doesn't mean that they're locked into that. That just means that that is the sex that they are when I popped them out. But that doesn't define their gender, especially when they start to grow and explore that later on in life. And I was having issues with wanting to be inclusive and open about my children and not force them to be a boy or a girl. But the thing is, as of right now, that's that is what they are. They were a assigned male, assigned female at birth. And while that doesn't necessarily mean that that's what I'm going to force them into as they get older, that is what I will try to explain to them as they get to know things about like pronouns and gender identity. Because again, they're 4. Oliver's 4, and Maya's not even born yet. So, hey Ken, I'm just talking about gender politics because I recently came upon a streamer who was talking about it, and they made a very good point that, you know, identifying or talking about, especially a child, especially an unborn child, it is okay to say I am having a boy or I'm having a girl if they have those sex organs, and that's okay. What's not okay is forcing gender stereotypes onto your children, and them doing anything outside of that is you know, punishment or anything like that. Well, obviously not, but you know, teaching your kids that you know, you had a penis, and so you were born with a penis, so you were assigned male at birth. You do not have to be male. You don't have to be a boy. You don't want to be, and we will happily work towards changing that if you want to. Same with Maya. You know, she'll be born with a vagina. We haven't seen anything in the ultrasound to identify anything other than that. So she will be assigned female at birth. Now that doesn't, and I'm crocheting a pink blanket for her, but that doesn't mean that I've not allowed Oliver to enjoy dolls and pretend and tea parties and pink as a boy, nor will I shy away from showing Maya, you know, more, you know, masculine things. But I just wanted to put that in the ether that for a very long time I was struggling as a mom on how to both talk to my children in a way that is both for them to understand this and to also talk to other people about it, because kids don't care. Kids do not care who you're married to, what your skin color is, what you identify as. The idea of gender and pronouns to them is a hard concept to grasp until, you know, they pretty much until like their tens. Not that it's like they don't understand it. They don't get like the politics behind it, because their worldview is just not that big. I mean, they understand that they don't have to be a boy if they don't want to be a boy. If they want to be a girl, if they want to be a boy, if they want to be neither, if they want to be both, you know. But other people being that and how to navigate that is such a, they need more brain development before any of that becomes like such a big deal. And as a parent, it's my job to guide them through that and guide them in the best way that I can, with as much information without overloading them and without it being like a look at me and how woke I am as a parent, like forcing my kids to do things. Like I'm just gonna let them do what they want. Like obviously they're gonna take cues from me and Rob, but and we surround ourselves with such diverse family members and friends that I don't feel like they'll be in trouble with figuring all of that out as they get older. But I'm also not a shitty mom for saying that I have a young son and I will be having a daughter, because those are the sex organs that they were born with. But wonderful thing is, we can change that. Not they can change that if they want to or not. They can also identify as other things. Anyway. Hi, welcome. Welcome to the stream. I haven't even got it started yet. I'm just over here ranting about being a parent. But anyway, so that was me. God, that was me going off for 18 minutes about children, gender, politics. I'm a parent. I struggle with how to articulate these things and wanting to be both a good parent for my children and give them the best in the world, while also letting people know that, like, please fuck off and leave me and my family alone and stop telling me that my son can identify as whatever. I know he can identify whatever he wants. He uses pronouns interchangeably for everything. For himself, for me and Rob, for the cat, for the toys. Like, pronouns are such a strange concept. Anyway, we're here to play games and crochet blankets. I have to get off of that high horse now, or I'll be stuck up there, and I'm short, damn it. Anyway, we are in the middle of Karma's route. If you've been following along, we've already done Rumple's route and Rod's route. And now we're on to the sword flirting, which I am so excited about. Here at Lazy ATL, we love our sword himbos. Karma, unfortunately, is not a sword himbo. He is not dumb. I think he classifies technically as a jock, because he uses the sword. No, I think he'd be a hunk. Because he's handsome, and he's good intentioned. He genuinely is. You don't really see it right now, but in comparison to, like, Rumple, prefer Karma all day, every day. Anyway. So, we're in chapter 5 right now. I think in the last chapter we shared a beautiful, adorable little cupcake that had, like, a chameleon on it. Oh, it was adorable. It was great. Yeah. So, let's get started. We're working on a pink stripy blanket for little baby Maya, who is due in 2 months, give or take. End of June, beginning of July. So this is not the first blanket that I've made for her, and it certainly will not be the last. Actually, after this blanket, we're making a blanket for Oliver, because I like to try and even that sort of stuff out. Anyway. We're just working on the border right now. The blanket's done. I just wanted to add a border because it just feels like it needs it. And I have the extra yarn. Anyway. I've been at the Marchen for a couple of months now, and I still haven't managed to do a single good deed. Today I went out to town with Waltz to buy ingredients for parfait, and the two of us have both been very quiet, which is uncharacteristic for Waltz. Princess? What? Did Karma explain why he wasn't coming with you today? Princess? Does Waltz not like my company? Is that why he's asking why he had to fill in for Karma? He said that he was tired. Oh. Waltz turned his head, his eyebrows furrowed in confusion. The town feels different today. It does? I feel as if there are people watching us. How can you tell? With practice. I have a lot of eyes on me when I'm doing my puppet shows, after all. Even before then, I was used to being watched, I guess. Before you were cursed? Why? Well, I was more conspicuous as an adult, I guess. An adult? Oh, right. You have the Neverland curse. You remembered? Yes, I have the Neverland curse. I told you what that was in the tavern once. You're stuck as a child when you should be a man. Right. It's a little inconvenient, but I've gotten used to it. Walt is so much more straightforward about his curse than Karma. The two of us go into a store where we find the little cups that Parfait asked us to buy. After I pay, Walt automatically picks up the bags. His help is nice for a change. I've become so accustomed to carrying the bags on my own. So, have you made any progress on your good deeds? You can see from my necklace that I have not. But you have changed. I still don't see how I've changed at all. Karma hasn't taught me anything about doing good. Sometimes, in order to do good, you need to realize some things about yourself first. Maybe Karma's not so bad at helping you with that. He's selfish, flamboyant, and acts as if the world revolves around him. But you're still partnered with him. I am. I am okay with Karma's company. Most of the people judge and shun me. But Karma hasn't done that, and he's even mentioned enjoying my company. This might sound better. Oh my god. There we go. Oops. Sorry, I was looking at something else on the screen and completely missed what was said here. Sorry, by the way, if my microphone quality suddenly changed, I realized that the program that I have to make my voice sound great coming through this microphone was off. I'm okay with Karma's company. Most of the people judge and shun me, but Karma hasn't done that, and he's even mentioned enjoying my company. I've become more tolerant of him too. Oh, Princess! Walt's eyes light up, and I see him point ahead to a crowd of people gathered around the center of the town. A woman stands in the middle of the crowd telling people's fortunes. Ooh. We should go see if we can get our fortunes told. Come on! The crowd around the woman only grows larger until nearly half of the plaza has been taken up. I find myself pushing around the crowd as I try to follow Waltz. The crowd is dense, though, and in no time, I have lost him. Waltz! I call for him, but I do not see him over the dozens of people in front of me. I will wait for him at the outskirts of the crowd. He should be able to find me. Ooh, what's gonna happen? I make my way out of the crowd into the edges of an alleyway. This is bad. But Walt still does not appear. 10 minutes go by, and I consider walking back into the crowd when I hear a voice behind me. Are you looking for someone, madam? I feel someone grab my hand. I slap them away and take a step back. When I turn, I find a man standing behind me in the alleyway. Who could it be? Aw, I didn't mean to startle you. What do you want? I want to help you return to the palace, Princess Lucette. Legasp. You know who I am? I do, Princess, and I can lead you back to the palace. What? Who are you? Someone who's working for the king. But the king does not remember me. The only people that would remember me are witches, fairies, and those with the curse. So who exactly is this man? Don't trust him. You're lying. Princess, why would I ever lie to you? Now come, I'm sure everyone at the palace will be very happy to see you. No. No. The man grabs my hand roughly and begins trying to pull me through the alleyway. The first thing I try to do is scream, but the man clamps his free hand over my mouth. The crowd is getting further from us, and no one can see us in the shadows. Oh, this is bad. Princess, I swear on my word, I'm bringing you back to the palace. Yeah, sure you are. I don't trust him. I think this one is wait for an opening. Or fight back. Wait for an opening. He will be expecting me to fight back. I have to hold my ground until there's an opening. What would Yuri and Ingara do in this situation? Nice and obedient, yeah? Better that way. After all, I'm not a bad guy. Ugh. The man walks me down the alleyway, his hold on me still tight. I am forced to walk with him until we get to a dead end. Now where was the passageway he was talking about? Now's my chance. What is this I see before me? Leg gasp. I look up to see Karma standing on the rooftop right above us in his disguise, holding a sword, a broad grin on his face. Alright. So we didn't pick the right one. There's a little indicator that lets us know that if we pick the right one, we're getting the good route for Karma. We'll go back and we'll get the bad route, but we're getting the good route for Karma. And then I'll show you the bad route after that. Okay, it was fight back. I have to fight back. Maybe I can still draw people's attention to me. I try to squirm my way out of the man's arms, but it does not work. He chuckles lightly at me until I elbow him in the stomach. For the few moments that I am free, I try to run, but all too soon the man grabs me again with the same punishing grip over my mouth and nose to stop me from screaming. You're a real feisty one, ain't ya? Ugh. I feel like I might faint. In one last attempt to get free, I tug at the man's hand with my own and manage to shift it just enough until I can bite down on it. Ow! Owie! The man screams in pain, his grip finally loosening. I can hear him cursing as I run away from him. A few minutes later, I realize that I have gone in the wrong direction. Uh-oh! And also, my yarn fell out. I soon come to a den in the alleyway. I can hear the man running up behind me. What is this I see before me? Gasp. Yeah. Okay. I look up to see Karma standing on the rooftop right above us in his disguise, holding a sword and a broad grin on his face. Madam, you might hurt yourself playing with that sword. You might want to put it down. What's this, sir? Do you feel threatened by me? You should. Karma jumps down from the building and raises the sword in front of him. His eyes are angry, his earlier jovial personality fallen away. Anyone that attacks a lady has to pay for the crime. Karma rushes forward, moving faster than I can see, even in his long dress. The glint of the sword causes the man to fall backwards, loosening his grip on me. I step back from the man's hold and watch as Karma points the sword at the man's neck. Now, I have a sword and you do not. Do you really want to test your luck, sir? This isn't worth it. The man runs off, leaving me alone with Karma in the alleyway. What's this? You were a lot cockier just a few moments ago. I breathe out slowly as relief washes over me. Princess! Walt approaches from where the man had run. So, did you meet the coward fellow on your way here? I bumped into a man that looked as if he was running from death. Oh my, I feel oddly accomplished. Karma and Walt's voices become faded and indistinct as my vision blurs. I'm suddenly light on my feet. All the adrenaline from earlier has dissipated into thin air. I feel tired. Princess! Before I can collapse, I feel arms pull me back up. Rest easy, Princess Lucette. I close my eyes and fall into blackness. When I wake up, Anise is sitting a tray of food down on my bedside table. She does not notice as I rise slowly from the bed. Anise. Oh, Princess, you're up. We were worried about you. Lady Delora and Lady Parfait say you were just out because of shock, but still. How long have I been asleep? Just a few hours, Princess. Don't worry about chores for now. Lady Delora says that if you're feeling better later, you can use Mr. Broom. Great. Just thinking about using Mr. Broom gives me a headache. Where are Karma and Waltz? Waltz is scouting the town looking for the man that captured you. And Karma? I think he might be in his room, Princess. He got patrol tonight, so he's resting a little bit. If he was patrolling tonight, that means he was resting this morning, too. How did he know I needed help? Do you need anything, Princess? No, I'm going to visit Karma. They gasp. What? To thank him? However, he knew if Karma hadn't been there, things would not have ended so well. Yes. That's sweet, Princess. Oh, Lady Delora wants to talk to you about what happened when you're feeling up to it. Okay. I wait until Anise leaves the room before I follow after her. It's only after I exit my room that I realize I do not know where Karma's room is. Anise must have assumed, and I already knew with us being partners and all. It's fine. I don't need Anise's assistance for this. I can find Karma's room on my own. It takes me some time, but eventually I find a room with his name on the door in careful, flowery letters. It suits him. I simply open the door without thinking to knock. Girl! Well, I expected to find Karma lying in bed, but instead he's standing in front of a mirror, changing his clothes. Leg gasp. Leg gasp. Princess! Oh! I don't think I've ever seen a shirtless man before. Girl! Oh, indeed. He turns to me, and the realization that he's standing there just in his pants hits me hard in the stomach. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. My face feels incredibly, uncomfortably warm. Why are you just standing there? Put on your clothes! And then I notice the large tattoo on his chest. It's a rose ensnarled by many vines. I stare at it for a few moments before Karma puts a hand there to conceal it. It's rude to come into a lady's room unannounced, you know. Okay, there it goes. Karma slips his usual dress on carefully over his head, then approaches me. I take a step back without realizing. Karma raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me mischievously. It's a familiar look, but it rattles me more now than it ever has before. My Princess, you're as red as a tomato. Are you okay? Le gasp. Does this man always need to point out the obvious? I'm fine. There's no need to shout, darling. Now, what did you come in for? To see me, the beautiful Karma? Does everything always have to revolve around you? Well, you are breaking into my room. I am barely able to stifle a sigh. Well? I cross my arms and frown at him. He smiles, making it hard to get my next words out. I came here to thank you. Oh, le gasp. Do my ears deceive me? What did you say, Princess? Princess? Thank you for saving me. I saw you fight back. That was a very admirable attempt. You saw me? Yes, as you were coming to the end of the alleyway. But I didn't manage to escape. It doesn't matter, Princess. You certainly made the effort. But I digress. You're quite welcome, Princess. It was my pleasure. I should leave. Wait, what? I turn to leave, but Karma grabs my hand and pulls me back. But Princess, don't you owe me something? Gasp. So Karma was expecting something in return after all. I should have known. I think you owe me an apology. You did come into my room unannounced after all. What is he talking about? Since you broke into my room, I demand you help me with my makeup. Then I will forget your transgression. Le gasp. Your makeup? Yes, darling. I thought you were resting because you were going on patrol tonight. Resting? Nonsense! I have much to do. My makeup earlier was so messy that I washed my face in order to reapply it. I cannot believe I'm going to agree with this. Fine. Ah, what a splendid day today is. Come, Princess, let's do this by a mirror. Karma pulls me over to the mirror where I can see both of our faces reflected. He has a surprising variety of makeup on the dresser beside him. I don't even care that much for my appearance. Why am I helping Karma with his makeup? Now, which feature on the face do you think is the most important one to highlight, Princess? What? What are your eyes attracted to the most on a person's face? When they're laughing, when they smile? Why is he asking me of my opinion on something so trivial? If someone was smiling, the first feature I would look at on their face would be... Now, my gut instinct is telling me, because he said, smile, laugh. So that would assume the lips. Personally, I don't know. Usually when I see somebody for the first time, I do kind of look at their face and I do look at their mouth area, and then their eyes after that. Unless their eyes are just really striking, because that's definitely done it before. Some girls with some makeup that are just their eyes are just yes, let me hypnotize you, and I'm just yes, please hypnotize me. You would have done that without the makeup, but now it's just damn, I have disadvantage on my wisdom save here. The lips? Despite myself, I find my gaze dropping to Karma's lips. Ooh, girl. Why do I feel like I'm walking into a trap? The lips? My Princess, I didn't think I'd ever hear you say that you looked at my lips when I smiled. I did not say that. Oh, but you did, and Princess, I do believe you are blushing. Even though Karma never said he was referring to his features, I thought about his lips anyway. The thought makes my heart flop, though I do not have the faintest idea why. Why does my heart go doki doki? I love that. It's my favorite. Anyway, I agree. Though eyes are important, a smile isn't quite as brilliant without the lips. Without the lips? I try to imagine a smile without lips and shudder. Yeah. Sorry, Princess, I misspoke. Try to dispel the image from your mind. Oh, God. Anyway, I'll let you choose the order of things. Fine. Just don't make me look like a clown, Princess. I know how much you like to tease me, but I need to get out of here quickly today. If you need to leave quickly, shouldn't you do your makeup yourself? And miss the opportunity to have you help me? Nonsense! If I can, I'll have you help me with my hair some other time. The way you do yours is beautiful. Le gasp. I always put effort into my hair, as Mother always emphasized the importance of looking like a princess. But I never received a compliment on my hairstyle before. Karma gives me his makeup supplies, and I start layering the color on his face. When we are this close, I cannot help but carefully inspect every one of his features. I don't think I ever did something like this with Mother. You know, Princess, I don't think I deserve your thanks. I pause and raise an eyebrow at him. What? You've been helping me for a while, and I haven't helped you with your curse at all. What I did today was just coincidence. Coincidence? I heard you went to town with Walt, so I followed you too. I only happened to catch what happened in the alleyway. You managed to see me, even when there were so many other people who didn't? I have good eyes, probably. Probably. It's not like you to be so humble. Lucette, I am once again offended. And why were you following us in the first place? You said you were too tired to go into town today. I was worried. It was strange not accompanying you today. Worried? Why would you be worried? Karma looks puzzled for a few moments. He glances at himself in the mirror solemnly, then shrugs. Oh, we're dealing with feelings. Intuition, perhaps. Waltz mentioned something about feeling watched. Is there something that Waltz and Karma are watching out for that I'm not? Karma closes his eyes momentarily. I take the opportunity to dust his eyes with eyeshadow. He doesn't seem to mind. Princess, you haven't spoken about what happened today with Laura or Parfait, have you? Not yet. You came to thank me first. Yes. Oh. Karma falls into silence, and I continue to work, sweeping blush on his high cheekbones. Princess, do you know anything about the man who tried to drag you away today? No. He said only that he worked for the king before telling me he would take me to the palace. I wonder how he recognized you. I was wondering that myself. How curious and alarming. The only ones who should pose a problem at that time are witches. At this time are witches. Witches? What do they want to do with me? Well, I only mean that witches are the only ones who can see through our curses. So that man spoke with a witch? It's possible. But why? Why would the witch want me back at the palace? Or was that man trying to lead me somewhere else? I suppose either way the man couldn't have wanted to bring me back to the palace for a good reason. It's possible that a witch gave a commoner description of you, but then why would... Karma stops talking and looks up at me with something like sympathy. Sorry, I'm just running my head for ideas. Are the witches really so dangerous? And what do they want with me in the first place? Rest assured, Princess, we will figure this out. Excuse me. I nod my head slowly. I have a lot of questions for Delora and Parfait, but it is possible that even they might not know everything. I will need to think on my own as well, just in case they decide to keep more of their secrets. I look at Karma and shake my head. Next time I'll be more wary. I won't let myself be caught unaware. Before I realize it, Karma has his hand on my cheek and is staring at me solemnly. His eyes are cold and unmoving as steel. Princess, there won't be a next time. That's what I said. Next time, I'll make sure that you're definitely not alone. Had I been alone today, I might have actually been kidnapped. I know that, but I cannot show weakness. I just need to be more cautious. Ooh!
This game is silly.
Oh, is the game being very silly?
Yeah.
Oh, did it accidentally close? There you go.
Okay.
Wait, okay, bye! Sorry, everybody, taking a quick Ollie break. What's up? Do you want to play the owl game?
Yeah. This sounds much better than I thought.
There you go, baby. Oh, go play in the living room, because Mommy's going to be talking. Mommy's going to be talking, so you should go play on the couch. Do you want to play in here? Hello! Oh, Melodic, thank you so much. Welcome. Oh my gosh, there's so many of you. Hi. Hello. Aw, thank you so much. Hi. We're in the middle of playing Cinderella Phenomenon, and I'm making a blanket. Yes. Aw, thanks, Mel. Hi, everybody. How's it going? Yes, we're playing Cinderella Phenomenon. We just took a tiny little small break. Thank you for the follow. As my son just came in with his games, so yes. So we'll get back into it. If you hear thumping in the background, that's him. Just lay on the bed. There you go. Okay. Had I been alone today, I might have actually been kidnapped. I know that, and I cannot show weakness. I just need to be more cautious. I'm not some damsel in distress, you know. Having someone at your back is far more comforting. Even on a battlefield, knights fight better together. What's wrong? Nothing. He moves his hand away from my face and stands up, sighing. His eyes look suddenly distant and his posture is stiff. I think we're about done here, right? I haven't finished your makeup, though. Wait, why am I even concerned about that? Oh, sometimes simple is better. Or would you like me to sit back down? I do enjoy being pampered by you, Princess. I take it back. You are definitely done. Good. Thank you for your hard work. In an instant, the mood changes, and a bright smile once again graces Karma's face. As much as I do hate to do this, I'm going to have to leave you, darling. I have business in town and then patrol later tonight. I probably won't see you for the rest of the day, but... Thank you. He's thanking me for putting on his makeup? It's such a small thing. You're welcome. You already thanked me, though. Well, now you can tell I'm twice as thankful as the normal person. That doesn't make any sense, but it's Karma. A lot of the things he says do not make any sense. I leave the room with Karma and he leaves the tavern, so I go find Parfait and Delora. The two of them are seated together in the reception, speaking in hushed voices when I arrive. They both pause and look at me as I walk into the room. Well, love, it isn't the princess. Took you long enough to come see us. Anise told us you were unharmed. We're glad to see you safe, princess. So, how about telling us what happened? When prompted, I tell them everything that transpired in the alleyway. The two listen and only exchange a solemn glance when I'm done. Do you know something about all of this that I don't? Why would the witches be after me in the first place? You remember what we said about the Teneberum corrupting witches? Well, those witches don't like seeing curses broken. They meddle where they can because they can. That's why I cast a glamour on you when you arrived here, so that you could remain hidden from magical eyes. I did it to protect you. To protect me? I feel like there's more to this than they're hiding, and I do not think any amount of convincing will get them to say anything. Forgive us, Princess. We're not entirely sure what's going on either, though if it was a human that captured you, he might be working with the witches somehow. Troublesome, to say the least, but we don't know the details yet. Give us some time to figure things out. Until we figure out who the man is, who he's working for, you need to have an escort with you out of the margin at all times. Do you understand? And once you figure it out, you will tell me. The two exchange a look. Oof. The two exchange another look, which only makes me. Oh my god. Sorry. Makes me more frustrated. There we go. They're obviously keeping secrets, and right in front of me. Well, we'll tell you once everything falls into place. Don't worry, Princess. We never let you get put into any danger. I didn't mean to do that. The silence that ends our conversation. I make my way back to my room, feeling heavy. I feel like a fly caught in a spider's web. I try my best to clear my mind as I return to my room. There's our boy! Love it. Love him. Okay, the days go by slowly and I make no progress with my curse. Karma is busy with the knights today, and Delora and Parfait are busy talking with Rumple about his curse in his room. Alright, so we're actually going to pause real quick there because I have reached a point on my blanket where I've completed another row for the border. I did a little I don't think it's called a slip stitch. It's just, you don't make the chain, you just slip it on through and then you completed it. And I have to do one more row and I believe I'll be done with the border for the blanket. Will I be satisfied? Will I be satisfied? I kind of wanted to do 5 rows. I'm currently at 3. I like the look of odd numbers when it comes to rows. It's really hard to show on camera right now, so I'll probably end up putting it on the Discord or online on my Twitter. But I'm also sitting here wondering, do I even really want a 4th row of the other pink color that I have? Ooh, decisions. All I do know is that it's 9 o'clock, so we'll be taking a break here in just a second. So, let's cut this off. Where is it? We don't want to make it too big. There we go. Wonderful. Okay. Great. Alright. So yes.
What is it?
But yes. For now, I think we are all done with the current blanket. It's very big. It's a beautiful little pink blanket. I love it. I think when I come back, and I'll probably finish this off camera. Do the final bits here, but I think when I come back after I put Oliver to bed and we resume, I think I'll be starting on the next blanket, which the yarn that I'm using for that is this like beautiful like peacock blue and green ombre one. Yeah, so that'll be exciting. And this is for my son because he was really excited while I was making blankets for little baby Maya, so might as well jump on the train and make his blanket. Let's see, put those back. Hang this up. Because that girl is done. She's done. Onion rings. Alright. So, yeah, we're going to take a quick little break here. Go get some water. Go stretch and go use the facilities. If you haven't already joined us on Discord, that's where you'll find out more information about all of our streams coming up. If you want to catch up on any of the other videos that have already been uploaded onto our YouTube, you can check us out there as well. And we also have merch if you're interested in merch. I'm trying to remember what else there is to really know and to say, but I think that's about it. So yes, we're going to take a quick 15-20 minute break here, and then when we come back, we'll be back with more of Karma's Roots. So yeah, go take care of yourself, and we will see you in 15 or 20. And we're back. Hi, everybody. Glad you're all here and hanging out with us. I hope you got something to drink, something to snack on. I have my tea here. If anybody cares, it's a Tazo's chai with some silk soy milk with vanilla. Very excited about that. Anyway, so before break, we had pretty much completed the border for the blanket that we were working on for a minute. So now we're going to move on to a different blanket, and we're going to make it out of this beautiful blue peacock color, blue and green and turquoise color. I think I'm going to do a modern chevron stitch with this one. I'm going to start off with that, and then work, maybe see how I feel afterwards. Because sometimes, sometimes you start making something and then you're like halfway through and you're like, I don't like it anymore. So, what this does mean though is I have to start pretty much all over, and I will need to keep track of how many stitches I'm doing, because for this one I do increments of 12 plus 3 at the end. So I believe that it might be the sound of my child getting out of bed, which is not something I want typically. So let me see. Increments of 12. I think we might do 12 times. Do I do 72? Let's see. Let's do 84. Let's go up to 84. And see how we feel about that. Okay. So yeah, I'll be doing that and listening to my child hopefully not getting out of bed. So I'm gonna move this closer. Sorry if it sounds weird. I just want you to get real close to my mouth so that you can hear everything that I'm saying, so that I don't have to try to I don't want to wake up my baby. He's not a baby. He's a boy. He's a child. He's 4. So that's a yeah. Anyway, sorry. I just parent things. How do I make them slip stitch? There we go. We did it, everybody. We made a slip stitch. I don't know why it's always so difficult for me to make a slip stitch. That tail is so long. I'm not doing that. I made it long again. It's fine. Anyway. Okay. Here we are. Is this the length I want? Yes. Okay. So, going to have to literally keep track of the count for this and also read this at the same time. We can do it though. I believe in us. All right. So, where we left off. The days go by slowly. I make no progress with my curse. Karma is busy with the knights today, and Delora and Parfait are busy talking with Rumple about his curse in his room. We don't really care for Rumple here. He's not terrible. He's just our least favorite. I feel like his route was very not as well thought out as the other ones. Like, excuse me. And if you've played the game, which by the way, if you haven't played this game before, it's free on Steam. You guys should absolutely check it out. They came out with the sequel to this game, I believe either at the end of 2019, end of 2020. I can't remember because those 2 years have just combined into a terrible amalgamation. The sequel is like $10.99, but this one is free. A fully fledged game with a beautiful story, well-developed story too. Like, you really do have to kind of play through all the routes to get like how rich of world building they put into this. It's great. It doesn't feel like they. I mean, obviously, the routes are all different because you're romancing different characters, but you get small different pieces of the larger puzzle that is the main story that is going on here, which I think is phenomenal. So support the developer, play the game, the original, the first one, free on Steam, and if you like it, please, I highly recommend throwing the $10.99 at them for the sequel. I haven't played the sequel yet. We're going to play the sequel after we're done with all this, and you guys will be getting my fresh, excited take on that, whereas I've already played this game. Like, this will be my third playthrough of this, technically. Anyway, so, I say third playthrough, but, like, it's been almost 3 or 4 years since I last played this, and I binged through it the first time. Like, I chewed through this game the first time. Anyway. Yeah. Tonight is a perfect night to go and wander the town by myself. Why? Why would you do that? I need to see if I can find out anything about the witches and what is happening around the kingdom. Girl, don't go out by yourself. 1, 2. Delora and Parfait are not going to tell me anything, and no one has wanted to take me out of the margin since the kidnapping attempt. Those thoughts spiral helplessly in my mind as I sit at a table. I have just finished working for the day, and the activity in the margin is beginning to wind down. Garland stands at the door as the last few customers leave the margin. Jurian is walking around the room to make sure that there are no problems. 8, 9, 10. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice 2 men pause halfway across the room to glance back at her. I can overhear their words from where I am. 11, 12. Shame that she's a knight, eh? She's the proud type, too proud to let a man dote on her. Bleeding shame indeed, but you'd think if I tried saying something to her... You two. Le gasp. Garland is suddenly standing behind the 2 men, an uncharacteristic dark glare on his face. Is there a problem? Doors are closing for the night. I'm going to ask you to please leave. Yes, sweetie. No need to be so uptight, lad. We're on our way out now. The two men walk out and Garland stands in the middle of the tavern area, glaring after them. Alright. I can't count and read at the same time, so I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to... Give me one sec, guys. I'm going to count up to 20 and then resume, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to get my chain. The first row count is very, 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 very important. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, there we go. He more or less pushed them out of the tavern. If Anise had seen that, she probably would have scolded him. Garland. Gasp. You okay? Of course. You think you can fool me? I've known you long enough to know that something is bothering you. Neither of the knights seem to notice me here. If they do, they ignore me. Jurian is still looking intensely at Garland, who looks down at the floor. Is he going to say something to her? Garland says nothing, though. He looks at a loss for words. Finally, Jurian reaches out and pokes his shoulder, and he looks up, startled. My shoulder! Still the same as always, the silent, watchful knight. Oh, like a wounded puppy. Only says things with certainty when he knows they're the truth. Even the princess is waiting for you to say something. Both knights turn to look at me, and Garland seems surprised. I raise an eyebrow at him, and he hurriedly looks away. Patrol is starting soon. I'll head out first. Okay. Stay safe. Garland nods at her with a little smile before he leaves the tavern. Going to sleep soon, princess? I was just about to head up. I stand up and get ready to move up to my room, but stop once more to look at Jurian. Girl, did you hear what those men were saying? Oh, about me being too proud or something? So she did hear them, but chose to say nothing. It doesn't bother me. They're right. I have been independent for a long time, and I would never think about pledging my safety to a man I barely know. I can take care of myself. Blunt and to the point, Jurian has really admired that honesty Jurian was really admired for that honesty in the palace. The only other man I've trusted before my fellow knights, Garland most of all, since we've always been partners. She does not explain any further. I decide that it's for the better. The sooner everyone is cleared out, the sooner I can leave the Marcham. Alright, another 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. I know that it's not fun to watch me sit here and count out that, but if I don't do it, I will not be able to do anything. Yeah. Okay. Tonight's the night I go looking for answers. Sorry, Karma. But I can handle myself. I'm going to prove it tonight. I may not be able to fight, but I can still be cautious enough not land myself in trouble. Famous last words. Still, I do not happen to hear much of anything as I am exploring the town tonight. I should have brought along some kind of weapon, but then I would have had to steal a knife from the kitchen. I'm not a thief. Hours pass before I pass a tavern filled with knights. Deciding that I would at least listen to what has happened at the palace, I linger by the open door and listen to what the men are saying. I hear that young Fritz is having a hard time of it. I feel bad for the lad. Even Sir Alacaster thinks he's gone mad. Well, he does keep talking about a princess that doesn't exist. I gasp. Fritz still remembers me? But how? Even his father is growing weary of his babbling. Sir Mithras forced him on break the other day. He didn't seem happy. Well, Sir Mithras must think he's crazy too. Poor Fritz. Oh no. Can you keep a secret? The knights look at each other and I lean as close as I possibly can. Apparently, the boy spoke some truth, though Sir Alacaster doesn't quite believe it. He's looking for the daughter of the previous queen. The witch had a daughter? Previous queen? Are they talking about Mother? How dare they call her a witch? Apparently she did, though I don't even remember such a girl. This is top secret stuff. I just happened to wrestle this out of one of the lackeys looking for her. What? What would Sir Alacaster need this girl for? I'm assuming she's dangerous and that they want to get rid of her. Are they talking about me? I'm curious. How are we supposed to find this imaginary princess anyway? Does she have any features? Aye, they describe her features. Last man who went looking for her said she wore a special pendant around her neck. I should get out of here. I turn to leave the tavern, but my cloak snags in the door and falls to the floor, tripping me up in the process. Uh-oh. I end up falling halfway into the tavern where the chatter abruptly stops. Is this... Oh, a lady. The knights that were talking approach me. One of them picks up my cloak. I attempt to grab my cloak from their fingers, but they pull it away from me, and I stumble into one of them. Madam? He moves to take my hand, and then he stops when he sees my face. Her face! And a necklace! You think she was spying on us? Witch! Ooh, one of the knights grabs me by the wrist and pulls me towards him. He's far stronger than the man the alleyway was. Oh no, this is bad! Oh god! Unhand me right now. I am no witch. Then there should be no problem. We were just going to take you in, and if there's some big misunderstanding, we'll repay you ourselves, miss. I don't like this. No, let me go. This behavior is not fitting of a knight. Come on, miss. Let's go back quietly. I don't like it. Before we make our choice, though, I'm going to crochet 20 more. 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. So we're gonna save. And we're gonna try to fight them. I may be outnumbered, but I cannot let myself be caught. Maybe the people at the bar will help me. I open my mouth to scream, but one knight covers my mouth as some attention falls on us. Nothing to fear here, everyone. Just a criminal we've apprehended. They gasp. I struggle in their grasp, but the men are too strong for me. Don't fight back, ma'am. Resistance is useless. Resistance is useless. Sound like an alien game. Everyone in the bar looks scared of me. This is even worse than everyone glaring at me. I try to blink back the tears as they come into my eyes. Come on, let's take her to the palace. Uh-oh. The knights lead me out to the empty street. So, we goofed. I think we were going to try to convince them. I think that's what we need to try and do. Yes. Try to convince them. Fighting back is useless when I'm outnumbered. I have to try to convince them that I'm not who they think I am. Also, they're knights. They're way stronger than you are. You are untrained. Don't do it. You're mistaken, sirs. I happened to overhear your conversation and assumed I'm some imaginary princess is unreasonable. The knights look at each other. You know, she has a point. She was listening in our conversation. That's clearly suspicious. Do you not hear what you just said? I happened to overhear it. Nothing more. You were cloaked, as if you were trying to hide your features. Being out at night without a cloak is a sure way to draw attention to a lady such as myself. You know, she has a point. Stop saying that, man! Then, madam, there should be no problem with us taking you back to the palace. If we are mistaken, we'll clear up the misunderstanding and pay you handsomely. Gasp. Come on, let's take her to the palace. The knights lead me out into the empty streets. Why? Why did I have to be so stubborn? Girl. The knights continue pulling me down the path until we come to a narrow street. Everyone who sees us walks away to avoid the knights. There is fear in their eyes. Oh no. But I have done nothing wrong. Another 20. 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, and we're just going to go ahead and do the last 7. 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87. Okay. Is this long enough? I don't feel like that's long enough. Another 12 should do. So we're at 87 right now, plus 12 is 99. So, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. Okay. blankets. Yeah, that'll do for a kid's blanket. Yeah, that'll do. And I have forgotten how I am supposed to... I forgot how I'm supposed to start the first chain. I think you go directly into it and you start with 2 in the first stitch. I think that's it. Maybe. Anyway. But I've done nothing wrong. Ma'am, if it makes you feel any better, we're risking our rank on this as well. That doesn't help. I don't know. I'm suspicious of... Who goes there? They gasp. I look up and notice Karma's familiar figure walking towards us. What is he doing here? Why isn't he in disguise? Gentlemen, I ask you to unhand that woman. As a knight, you would be ashamed to be seen treating a lady so terribly. And who are you? Her husband. His what? Unhand her, gentlemen, or taste my blade. Sir, we are just going to take her to the palace, too. I will give you on the count of 3. One knight keeps his grip on me as the other draws his sword. I stare at Karma, who continues to count, though the knights attack him before his sword leaves his sheath. Wow, attack first. What doofuses. Karma and the knights trade blows, but it's Karma that comes out victorious. His blade slides past the knight's shoulder, distracting him enough to give Karma the opening he needs. Karma reaches back with a free hand and knocks the knight out with a blow to the head. It may just be my imagination, but for a few short moments, I think I see the knight's blade glimmer across the surface of Karma's hand before he falls. The knight holding me holds up his hands in surrender. I yield, sir. It seems no matter how the situation turns out, you are dishonorable. Please, sir. Smack. Karma knocks him out and then stands beside me as he sheathes his sword. Karma, a few moments, Lucette. Karma spends some time forcing a potion from a vial down each of the knights' throats. I watch him quietly, fearing that he might have killed them, but the knights only seem to be asleep. A potion that Parfait gave me. It'll make the men forget they ever saw you. When Karma stands again, I notice the glimmer of blood on his hand and stare. You're hurt. It's nothing. I'm sorry. Come on, princess. Let's go back. The gasp. He pulls me right into one of the main streets and does not let go of my hand. I cannot bring myself to speak. Karma has saved me twice now. But this time he is injured. He says it's nothing, but his bloodied hand does not move at all. Why do I have it to be so stubborn and insist I can handle myself? I do not speak for a long time. Eventually, I notice people start to stare. Though before long, the staring grows worse. Young women begin following us, giggling from behind. I turn to Karma, who looks like he hasn't slept in days. Karma? Sorry, princess, but I'm not in the mood to talk. Those girls are walking right behind us. This is... his curse? Karma... Lucette, I just said that I'm in no mood to talk. Did you not hear me? We're being followed. They gasp. He stares behind us almost stupidly and then laughs hollowly when the girls see his face. They start to rush towards us, their voices rising and blending together in horrendous cacophony. Karma is not moving, though. He looks resigned. Maybe he's too tired to realize what he wants to do. I tighten my grip on Karma's hand and pull him away, my pace quickening to a run as the girls chase after us, screaming at me angrily for taking Karma away from them. They gasp. Lucette, what are you doing? Getting us out of here. Lucette. I lead him toward the town and into little nooks and crannies where we manage to lose some of the crowd. Karma often lead me through some of these spaces as shortcuts. Waltz knew them too. Once we are alone again, I stop, falling to my knees and letting go of Karma's hands as I catch my breath. That really was a curse, having to run away from so many mindless women. That was difficult. Lucette. What? I didn't mean to snap, but the tiredness is pressing on me too. You helped me out of that. Of course I did. Why would I want to be chased by girls? You could have left me behind and gone on alone. Instead, you helped me. You helped me too. I guess I paid you back. Though, to be honest, I wasn't even thinking about repaying him for saving us. Or saving me. I just knew that I didn't want Karma to be stuck trying to fend off all those girls. What a good friend. He was right about his curse. That is terrible. I just realized something. Karma kneels down beside me and waits for me to speak. My curse has people forget me, and yours has even strangers becoming fascinated with you. It's almost like our curses are opposite of each other, and yet we seem so similar. My eyes widen when I realize what I just said. We are similar, aren't we? Oops. He holds out his good hand to me, and I let him lead me back to the tavern through the abandoned alleyway. My feet are heavy, and all I want to do is sleep, but suddenly Karma is standing before me, his face grave. Lucette, I have to thank you for helping me earlier. I'm sorry I froze like that and made it more difficult on you. It was so sudden, and I was so tired, I had no motivation to move. Shouldn't I be thanking you? I'll accept your thanks, even though I wish you didn't have to thank me in the first place. Yeah. You should not have gone on your own when you knew how dangerous it could be for you. I'm sorry. I'll accept your apology too, because I lost sleep over this. I have no words for how I feel right now. Princess. Title card. Not title card, but like scene card. Karma reaches for my hand again, and this time he holds it up and kisses the back of it. Oh, I love it. Suddenly, all of my tiredness falls away. You really are a handful. They gasp. But delightful handful. I'm going to bandage this hand and then rest. We'll speak later about all of this, okay? But the blood. The bleeding stopped on its own, Lucette, but it does need to be treated. Don't worry. It'll be fine. Are you sure? As sure as I can be. I don't lie, not even for the sake of a pretty lady. Karma lets my hand go as soon as we enter the margin, and then bows politely to me before heading back to his room. I watch him go, my mind whirling. Does he usually kiss women's hands? No, I don't think so. Boop, boop, boop. Matchmaking! Ooh, you really are a handful. But a delightful handful. His words kept repeating in my head. I cannot stop hearing his voice and feeling his lips on my hand. My face feels warm, and every time I think about his words, my heartbeat feels unsteady. I really have to stop thinking about that. Karma is karma, and he puts on that overly polite act with everyone. But then I am pretty sure I've never seen him do something like that with another person. I'll just go downstairs and stop thinking about all of this. I need to tell Parfait and Delora what happened. Because of the time I returned to the marching yesterday, I never spoke to anyone about what happened. Maybe someone's downstairs. Someone usually is. I leave my room and make my way downstairs to the reception. It's quiet when I enter, but not as silent as I thought it would be. Karma is sitting at one of the tables speaking quietly with Parfait and Delora. His injured hand is sitting on the table, bandaged. I cannot help but stare at it, my heart plummeting. His injury is my fault. So you have yet to hear the entire story. No, I'm afraid I'm not quite privy to the information Waltz has. Is that correct? Waltz has been directly involved in this for far longer than you have. What about Waltz? They gasp. Princess, you're up early. They all turn to look at me, and I stand at the table. Karma still looks tired and is not in his dress. He looks somber, but still smiles at me. Lucette, how nice of you to join us. When do you start saying my name without my title? Lucette, you've run into a lot of different mishaps this week, haven't you? I thought you would be stubbornly avoiding work. Instead, you go out of your way to get yourself into trouble. This involves me directly. How could I not be curious? You're also being irresponsible, sneaking out without any of us knowing. I have the freedom to do whatever I want. I even wore a cloak too. Oh no, the cloak. I left it at the bar. I feel a nudge in my arm, and Karma is holding up my cloak with a tired smile. Ah, such a sweetheart. They gasp. You went back to get this. When? Yesterday, when you were still in bed. You've been running yourself dry these last few days, Karma. It's nothing. Thank you. They gasp. What's this? Our ice princess is thanking someone. Why is that something so strange? Oh, come on. She's not as icy. Lucette is more fire than anything. She's filled with unbridled passion and confidence. Confidence that has gotten me nowhere so far. Don't look so dour, Lucette. You've become quite the accomplished woman. Karma gestures towards me and I flush, unsure of what he's talking about, and then I notice Delora's eyes are on me too. Oh! Parfait, do you see that? They gasp. What are they looking at? I reach down to grab my necklace and then pause. I cannot stop the gasp that leaves my lips. There's a shoe. When did this happen? Princess, you didn't realize that there was an extra piece on your necklace? Congratulations, Princess Lucette. You're a step closer to breaking your curse. I feel proud. I only ever felt this way around Mother. She did me a great favor yesterday. If not for Lucette, I might have suffocated beneath a pile of very excited women. Wait, helping Karma was a good deed. She was selfless. He's not even mentioning the injury he got protecting me. Delora and Parfait are both smiling, but the cheerful mood does not last long. Hey, girl! Welcome. I have started a new blanket, as is tradition. And we're having some sweet sappy moments here on Cinderella Phenomenon. I think, yeah. Chris, it's a Chris. What's up? We're working on a new blanket as we're doing this. I literally just started. It is a fresh blanket, but we're doing this pretty peacock blue green. Oh my god, this camera just washes it out. It's prettier than that, I promise. Anyway, welcome, friends. We're so glad you're here. Love you all. All right, back to the game. Parfait and Delora are both smiling, but the cheerful mood does not last long. You brought friends! I love it. Thank you for the friendships. What were you all talking about before I came down? About your kidnapping? Well, kidnappings. Both of them. It looks like we have a serious problem on our hands. What do you know about this? What does Walt know that I don't? Princess, it's more about what everyone else knows that you don't. What everyone else knows? I feel anger begin to simmer inside of me. Even though he looks apologetic, he says it so casually. What are you all hiding from me? Let's gather everyone later, shall we? I think Waltz might want to be here for this too. What does Walt have to do with any of this? Be patient, Princess. You've already waited this long. What's another few hours? I have no choice but to agree when Parfait and Delora refuse to say any more, but I am not happy about it. I spend the rest of my time doing idle chores around the tavern. I do a round of sweeping with Mr. Broom and mindlessly organize some of the bottles. I cannot believe everyone knows something about me that I don't. But now, I'll find out the entire story. Maybe it'll answer some of the questions I have. But why are they all keeping things about me a secret to begin with? Delora gathers everyone in the tavern to discuss the kidnappings. I decide to sit in between Waltz and Karma. So we have a story to tell. Story time, huh? I don't suppose this would be a romance, would it? Shut up, Rumple! Shut up! How can you stand to make comments like that constantly? Get out. How can you stand to live a lie? Just wanna... We don't like Rumple here. Delora starts with the story about the Great War, one that I've already heard so many times I can recite it myself. What does any of this have to do with me? Because of the fairy tales, witches like myself were punished for simply existing. Our leader, the Tenerum Bearer, was a kind of witch that was overtaken by the grief that our people had suffered. Was a kind witch that was taken over by the grief that our people had suffered. She was driven so far into madness that she created the fairy tale curse to punish humans and make them suffer as the witches had. And when that wasn't enough, she committed the ultimate taboo. She killed a human. I tried to stop her, but at the time I thought to act as at the time I was too late. Goodness, I can read. Knowing that Delora and Parfait were involved in the Great War makes it seem more real. But wasn't the Tannerin bearer killed? How can the fairy tale curse continue to spread if she is dead? I believe that the Tannerin bearer sacrificed the last bit of her life to continue to powering the Tannerin, all to ensure that the remaining witches could continue spreading the fairy tale curse. Is none of this ringing a bell for you? What are you talking about? She really did erase your memories. Erase? The witch who died, the Tannerin bearer, was your mother, Princess Lucette. Le gasp. What? For some reason, I turned to look at Karma, who is one of the only people who doesn't look away from me. I grew up outside this kingdom, but even I knew of the terrible witch Hildur. You expect me to believe any of this? She wasn't a witch. I would have remembered that. Well, you would if you had memories of the war and the years before that. Under Hildur's rule, the palace was a dark place. The king didn't have any real power until Hildur was defeated. That goes for the rest of us, too. We were slaves to Hildur. Delora's eyes flicker to Waltz. It's the truth. Waltz knows because he is also a witch. He experienced Hildur's command over the witches firsthand as well. They gasp. Waltz is a witch? Sorry for keeping it a secret, Princess. It's not as if I could use much magic anymore anyway. Not when I'm cursed. It's just another secret of many. It seems everyone is hiding something. Everyone was freed after Hildur's reign. Witches, fairies, and humans alike. The king was even able to marry Ophelia, the woman he has always truly loved. So, it was always been Ophelia that he truly loved. Was that the reason I never felt any love from him? Because I was my mother's daughter? Oh, it's sad. He gave up on me. No, dear, I don't think he gave up on me. My voice is too loud in the reception area. I feel it crack beneath the pressure and suddenly I want to cry. My mother told me so many times not to cry. The king gave up on me. But Mother didn't. Mother would tell me this was all a lie. She would tell me not to trust anyone. They must be lying. I turned to Karma. For some reason, I trust him more than I trust Delora or Parfait. Is this the truth? I was told the story of Hildur and her daughter, Lucette. They said that you were the picture of elegance, but that you shared your mother's icy nature. Le gasp. But I don't think that's true at all. If Hildur was ice, then you must certainly are a warm fire. If my mother was a witch, then does that make me? You're a witch as well, whether or not you were ever taught to use magic. On your upcoming birthday, you will become the Tannerin bearer. You do realize how ridiculous this all sounds. Me, a witch. The king would never said anything. And now I can't even ask him if this is true because I'm cursed. Why would you even curse me? We didn't want a repeat of the tragedy, Lucette. I sat on your shelf for almost a year, Princess. There was an ice in your heart, and if you had inherited the Tannerin in that state, who knows what would have happened? Then why didn't you just tell me any of this? Delora and Parfait look at each other before dropping their gazes to the ground. If we had told you before, would you have even bothered to listen? The king must have tried to do the same thing, and look what turned out. You shut out everyone who ever tried to tell you about Hilder's true nature. That is probably true. Even now I'm having trouble believing they are telling me the truth. The whole world feels as if it's collapsing around me. I need to escape. I need to go out and be somewhere else, but why are the witches looking for me? You are the heir to the Tenerimbum. No doubt the evil witches want you on their side so they can continue wreaking havoc in Angela with the fairy tale curse. The men that were looking for Lucette were not witches, though. They were knights. Perhaps the witches and the knights are working together? This must be part of Alacaster's scheme to steal the throne. What are you talking about? The reason why Jurian and I left the Order of Caldera was because the king did not believe us about Alacaster's coup. How would he know of the prince's identity, though? Anyone who isn't a witch, a fairy, or isn't cursed shouldn't be able to remember her. But now we know that it's not just the witches looking for the princess, but the knights of the Order of Caldera as well. They definitely have a description of her from someone. Lucette? Hi, hey, hi. Karma reaches out a hand and touches my shoulder, and I flinch back before standing up. I cannot speak about this now. I want to be alone. Let her go. She'll need a lot of time to think. Sad face. Sad puppy face. I leave everyone sitting at the table as I try to process the whirling thoughts in my mind. Hilda, my mother, the only person I ever thought loved me, was a Tenerim bearer, a witch, the first witch to kill a human. The witch that started the fairy tale curse. All this time I thought Mother was the only one who cared, but what if she never did? I stay in my room for a long time, trying to process everything I had been told. Oh, there's our boy, Sup. Love you. Days go by before I decide to leave the tavern again to watch Karma practice with the knights. These last few days I've felt hollow. Maybe seeing the normal practices will help me feel better. Maybe it'll make things feel like nothing's changed. When I arrive at the forest, however, only Karma is standing in the clearing. He's staring through the trees as if he sees something there, but his expression is solemn, almost sad. Eventually he sighs, shaking his head before turning in my direction. I gasp. Lucette. I prepare myself for a response, but find that no words come to mind. I have not spoken to Karma since the talk about Mother and the witches, and any of the ease I felt with him before has slipped away. Oh, sweetie. Still, I came here on my own, and I cannot just stand here being mute. I say the first thing that comes to mind. Where are Jurian and Garland? I only train with Jurian. Garland is on patrol duty tonight. He'll be here later. I just came early. It seems you did too. Lucette, are you okay? I'm sorry I haven't been by to see you. It's not as if you owe that to me. I don't owe it to you, but I truly wanted to. I've just been busy these last few days scouting the town for information. As much as I want you to come with me, why would you ever want to pair up with someone like me anyway? They gasp. Girl. Why, princess? That's because you're... I'm bitter and cold, and even though I want to change, all I can think about is myself. But now I want to change because I do not want to be the same as my mother. Isn't that selfish? Maybe so, but I believe you're being selfish for the right reasons. An entirely selfless person can't survive in this world. Before we can make others happy, we have to be happy ourselves. Damn right. Hold up. I got several of y'all in my chat right now, especially you, Meg. I'm looking at you. Love yourself. Love yourself or I'll do it for you. Please take care of yourself, everybody. Especially with how everything has been the last year and the last couple of months. Please find time to take care of yourself. And if you don't, I'll come and find you, wrap you up in a burrito blanket, and just bombard you with affirmations. Love you all. Happy ourselves? Yes, an angry person holds resentment towards everyone, and it mars whatever good deeds they seek to do. That is why I cannot complete my good deeds. Wrong. You already got one done. Recognizing the need for change is always a good thing, Lucette. Regardless of the motivation, you're trying to become a better person. That's what matters. He takes a step towards me, then puts his hands on my shoulders and leans down until I can look right into his eyes. Karma's serious expression startles me as much as his touch. It's never too late for anyone to change. You taught me that. What? How could I have taught Karma anything? Do you mind if I tell you a story, Lucette? He's standing too close. Ooh, girl. Alright, hold on. Let's make these choices. We probably should stay. Don't move. With his face as close, all I can do is stare right into his eyes. Karma's hands tighten on my shoulders, and for a few moments I feel a slight panic rise in my chest. Then Karma steps away from me with a rough shake of his head. Karma? Next time I do that, Lucette, feel free to push me away. What? It's better that way. What does he mean by that? You never answered. Will you listen to my story? Oh no! Ugh. Step away from him. Fine. I take a step away from him, and Karma's hands fall from my shoulders. He sighs out. The story better be just as dramatic as mine. Thank you, Lucette. For what? For agreeing to listen. And for what you just did. Why? Why, though? Stepping away from him? Was I distracting him? Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there lived a crowned prince from a kingdom called Brigantia? Briganti. Brigantia is one of the neighboring kingdoms, so this isn't make-believe. His name was Claude... Ooh, honey. That's a name. Okay, his name was Claude Adric Rinaldi Matthias Almonte. But because his name was such a mouthful, he settled for an acronym as a nickname, at least around the palace where it was acceptable. That is a name. That is a name and a half. That is a name in several quarters. Holy shit. Caldric... Karma. Prince Claude was a man who flaunted his beauty and talents to all that he met. He often used his title to get what he wanted. Prince Claude was a selfish man who felt he was entitled to everything that he had. He was vain and often left his castle unattended so that he could avoid his responsibilities. Then, one day, he chanced upon a beautiful maiden in the town square and led her around the whole day, being as charming as he possibly could. Then, at the end of the day, he asked the woman to be his lover. She agreed, but their time together did not last long. Only weeks later, Prince Claude threw her away as one throws away an object and broke the woman's heart. And she cursed him. That beautiful maiden was a witch, but Prince Claude found out too late. The witch said she would make his beauty, his vanity, a curse. To make even beauty a curse. Ashamed of being cursed, Prince Claude donned a disguise and left his kingdom behind. He's been gone for nearly a year now, and most probably assumed he is dead. But in truth, the prince has come to Angelia seeking a way to break his curse. He heard of a young lady named Lucette who, in her 18th birthday, could dispel any curse. They gasp. Karma. He looks so sad. I don't know how to comfort him. Claude. They gasp. Karma. Claude turns a startling red as he stares at me for a few moments. He does not speak. Then he bursts out laughing. I stare at him in shock, not understanding his reaction. I feel myself flush. Isn't that your real name? Hey, Jill. Oh, you're on vacation. Boo, it's good. You've already done Karma's entire route, so you already know what's going on. So happy to hear from you, though. Love you. Have a good vacation. No, darling, it is. But hearing you say my name, well, it sounds so much softer out of your lips. I rather like it. Ooh, spicy. My cheeks are warm again, but is that... How is it that he always is able to make me feel this way? I'll call you by that name if it makes you happy. Call me by your name? Oh, let's make it a secret between the two of us. I'm still Miss Karma here. Besides, I'd rather you keep the name for my ears only. It makes me feel more special that way. Boo. So, if you were not here for the Rumple playthrough, which was the first one we did because I am not a fan of Rumple. He is my least favorite of all the routes. He also has a name change that happens closer to the end of the game when you find out his real name, which I believe is Chevalier. So I'm literally looking... I cannot help comparing Karma / Claude's route to Rumple / Chevalier's route because the characters are so similar in that they at least the character type is very similar. They're both these very flirty, very, very ostentatious individuals, but Karma is at least a gentleman and will flirt, but it's very sincere, and we don't get it constantly, like all the time, which I hate. I hate that. I hate that so much, and having to deal with that in Rumple's route was annoying. Rumple would constantly flirt with our character and flirt with several other characters and be like, I'm paying them compliments. Everyone wants to be complimented. And it's like, when you give out so much of this thing, it starts to not feel very sincere. So that's why, even though Karma does flirt, it is less... It's more genuine. You can honestly tell when when Karma does that. Anyway, I believe Karma is also older, but I don't think he's as old as Rumple. Rumple was 24, with our main character here being 17. I think Karma is maybe either 19 or 20. So, not bad. Not a whole 7-year gap. And then, again, the name change in the middle. But this is less of a, you found out my real name and this is what I would rather be called. And this is more of a, like, this is my real name. I do know it, though, but let's keep it a secret just between the two of us because you're special. Oh, be still in my quaking heart. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. Just had to get that out of the way. Just watch my playthrough of Rumple's Route. We do the bad end, unfortunately, for that one. I do not go back, and I don't do the good end. I just didn't find it worth it. It's... Some people like Rumple's Route, which is fine. This is my personal opinion. If you prefer Rumple over Karma, that's completely, totally fine. I much rather... I like Karma much better. Personally. As me. But yes. So, let's get back to it. I completely forgot that, like, when you find out that he's a prince and everything, that this is... I mean, I knew that you find out that he's a prince, which is just like, I love it. Prince in disguise. Oh, it's... it's... You'll figure out his curse. You'll... Oh, ow, 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 ow. You'll figure out his curse. Anyway, his curse is that he can't be seen as he truly is because people just assume he's super duper pretty and, like, tackle him. That's totally all it is and nothing else. Anyway. More special? At that moment, Garland shows up for practice and Claude politely excuses himself. I watched 2 of them trade blows. Excuse me. Claude favors his other hand, but his blows still come quickly, even with his injury. The more Claude tells me, the more I realize that he's, like me, a noble curse for being selfish. But how do I help break his curse? Why can't he tell me? As practice is drawing to a close, Claude asks Garland the usual question. Have you confessed to Jurian yet? Garland only shakes his head in reply. The 2 men sheath their swords. Garland looks almost sad as he turns to make his way back to the tavern. He likes her, and yet he won't say anything. Why is that frustrating me so much? I wonder why. Garland. Yes, Princess. I wonder why it's frustrating you so much. It's almost like there's someone that you wish you could tell your feelings to, if you even figured out what your feelings meant. Why your heart goes doki doki like that. I wonder. I wonder. Oh, did I goof? Did I goof already? No, I'm fine. I'm going to save in a second here. Sorry, everybody. I just wanted to real quick get past this one minor difficult part. Doing a chevron stitch is like... it's a lot. This bitch a lot. Anyway. Okay. You have to tell her. Claude told me before that confessing is hard, but what Garland is going through, looks even harder. Princess, you know I'm incapable. No, you think you're incapable, but if you ever said anything to her, you'll never know. If I say something wrong, I risk losing everything that I already have with her. And if you say nothing, you risk losing what you could have with her. Lucette is right. Ooh, I did it! I didn't have to reload like a dummy. Maybe you should really tell her, Garland. Before, Claude was adamant that Garland should confess to Jurian. What changed? If I mess this up... Let's try looking at it through another lens. Imagine that Jurian is Lucette. How do you think she would look if she would like to be confessed to? I frowned at the two men, arms crossed. Excuse me? Well, you and Jurian are very similar. You're both very straightforward. Confess to the princess? Oh, look at this baby boy. My eyes moved to Claude, but only fleeting before they were once again on Garland. You just need to do something simple, Garland. Something that will not rub her the wrong way. A maiden's heart is even fragile, and each woman is different. Claude is wearing an amused smile on his face, but he's looking at me, not Garland. I feel my face flush and have to look away. Oh my god. Lucette, you're tomato red again. It's adorable. Stop. But also don't. Please keep going. I cross my arms and my rapidly beating heart again and force a scowl on my face. No, I was just thinking about what Garland could do. Something simple, like when Karma kissed my hand. Garland kissing Jurian's hand is probably not a good idea. Maybe he could do what Claude and I did the one time in town. He could buy her some food and they can just talk. Garland, have you ever just asked Jurian out for food? Not alone. Jurian is practical and she always eats at the tavern. She's also always on duty if she's available. I'll take her patrol shift 2 nights from now then, and tomorrow you can ask her out for a meal. We can make your invite a grand affair. You can drape banners on the wall, or I could give you a rose. They gasp. That sounds like a terrible idea. I am offended. I feel like if I did something like that for Jurian, she would get embarrassed and punch me. Sounds like another lady that I know. Claude grins at me, and I just roll my eyes. Oof. Garland, just ask her normally, and then when you're out and alone together, you can confess. And we'll make sure you have the time to do it. I'll purposely come late to practice tomorrow night so you can ask her out for that date. How does that sound? You two really think I can do this? You just have to ask the question. Whatever follows will at least be an answer. Tomorrow night, then. Good man. I'm sure it will go swimmingly. Famous last words. Or I could drown. You won't drown, Garland. Garland excuses himself with a nervous smile before Claude turns to me expectantly with a mischievous grin. Now, Lucette, we've come here early tomorrow and spy on them. We need to scope out a good spot. It's me. Spy on them. Of course, we need to make sure that our efforts pay off. I don't think we should. You don't want to see how it plays out? I mutely shake my head, unable to put my emotions into words. For some reason, I'm imagining myself in Jurian's position. It feels too personal. Claude's likeliness suddenly springs to mind, and I feel my face grow hot again. Ooh, girl. Lucette, you've been oddly out of it today. Claude reaches out a hand towards me, then abruptly pulls away. I stare as he smiles at me, almost sheepishly. The conversation between us dies, and we return to the march-in. Days pass, and though I do not spy on the conversation between Jerry and Garland, I notice that Garland has been smiling from ear to ear during his practice with Claude recently. Aww. Yay. I can only assume that his confession went well. Claude took the patrol shift tonight as I lay in bed, and I am restless. Each time I watch Claude practice with Jurian and Garland, I'm reminded of the palace of Fritz. I wonder how Fritz is doing. Is he still practicing with the other knights? My thoughts darken as I recall the kidnappings. By the way, I took a small break from the crocheting. If you all want to see where we are at, we have this beautiful, beautiful blue, green. It's great. Loving it, loving it. Unfortunately, where I have stopped, the count is wrong, which sounds very, very, very silly when I say it out loud like that. But there's a way it's supposed to end, and it has not done that, which means that I have messed up somewhere, which means I need to go look at the pattern again, and I can't do that right now, unfortunately, so I will do that after stream, so you guys don't have to watch me scouring through the Etsy board that I found this on, because that would be really, really boring. But I will let you all sit here and watch me tear this apart, because it's not... Just gotta tear it apart sometimes. Claude had to save me every single time. He got injured saving me. Unable to sleep, I slip out of bed and make my way to the reception room. The night air is cool, and no one stops me from standing just outside of the march-in. I can't just sit back and do nothing anymore. I have to act. I don't want Claude to get hurt because of me again. Eventually, I see Claude approach. He looks tired and is moving more slowly than usual, but when he sees me, his lips quirk into a smile. Lucette, what are you doing out here tonight, my love? Tonight, love? I gasp. Love instead of darling. That's new. Hello, Claude. Oh, his face is dark red again. Y'all just blushy twins. If you're using my real name, I suppose you've come to ask for something serious. How could he know that? I do need to ask something of you. Well, if you need a shoulder to cry on, I'm right here, love. What? Oh, is it not about... Never mind. I'm asking if you'll be my instructor. For some reason, it seems I've caught Claude off guard. He stares at me for a few moments. What? I want to learn how to use the sword. I want you to be my instructor. Claude's expression becomes uncharacteristically serious. I'd rather you didn't learn how to use a sword. I want you to help keep... Sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. I ripped the yarn while I was tearing it apart. So that checks out for me and all of this. Sometimes it begins to knot up and you're like, oh yeah, I'll just tug it on it really, really hard and that'll do it. And it's like, no sis, that's not how that works. I don't mind protecting you. I do. Claude sighs and shakes his head. Princesses shouldn't be using swords. I want to be able to stand on my own 2 feet. You are. I do not want you to get hurt again when I could do something about it. Teach me, please. Claude. Once again he flushes. It seems to be an instant reaction and is both amusing and adorable. Endearing. Okay, we'll take endearing. That's fine. It won't be easy. I wasn't expecting it to be. Claude stares at me for a long moment before finally letting out a heavy sigh. Fine. I'll train you. You won't learn in a day, but I can teach you the essentials. You can use one of the knight's training swords. Thank you. Music to my ears. Meet me in the clearing in 10 minutes. 10 minutes? What? You said you wanted to train, so we will. Don't expect me to go easy on you. But aren't you tired? He looked exhausted when he came in, and now he wants to train? Already trying to get out of training. I am not. Claude shakes his head, but he is smiling. I'll see you there in a few minutes, love. Oh, it's so sweet. We love it. We live for it. Yes, go slumber, Chris. Get you your sleepies. Sleep type, read type. Thank you for joining us. Moonlight spills through the leaves, illuminating the forest with a gentle light. Long minutes pass, and as I stand in the clearing, I begin to feel restless. It isn't like Claude to be late. Is he tending to his injury? I hear a rustling in the leaves and turn immediately to see what the disturbance is, but the minute I do, I am pulled back by a strong force and my world goes dark. What? I gasp. Before I can scream, I hear a gentle voice in my ears. Ooh, sweetie. Lesson 1, Lucette. When apprehended by an enemy that you can't see, remain calm and use your 5 senses to judge how best to get the upper hand. This voice is coming from right behind me. Claude? I've become aware that this is the closest he's ever been to me with my back pressed to his chest like this. Panicking disorients the mind. That is why you must remain cool under any circumstance. How could I not panic? Any normal person would panic. Still, I try to force myself to be calm. I mean, yes, but also, lesson 2. Enemies will often let down their guard when they think they have the upper hand. Catch your opponent off guard by remaining calm and locate this weakness with your senses. I try to calm myself as Claude instructs, and I feel it at least a bit easier, but only because I know it's Claude. An opening. I move as quickly as I can, stepping forward so that I can swing an elbow back at Claude's stomach. Before that happens, Claude has pulled me back to him, closing whatever distance I had put between us. In the process, he moves his hand from my eyes to my mouth. I can once again see the forest, but my words are muffled beneath his hand. Another thing to remember, you won't always be able to catch your enemy off guard by throwing punches or hits at them. Your opponent will usually always be stronger than you, Lucette. Remember what I said about a weakness. Enemies will often let their guards down when they believe they are winning. Just like I have. An opening. A thought occurs to me as I glance around me and then down at Karma's bandaged hand. Karma's bandaged hand is over my mouth. Is that an opportunity or a trick? What will you do, Princess? What kind of tactic would remove you from my grasp? I mean, of course, the hand. We can't actually topple him, but if we could topple him, we would just like knock him to the ground, and it would have that. But we already got our seeing card, so bite his hand. I'm going to feel terrible about this, but I have to try. I try to shift my head to get enough space to bite down. Even Claude cannot hold me completely still as I squirm. Eventually, the hand over my mouth moves just enough for me to open my mouth, but I falter. I cannot bite the hand that I injured. Aw, sweetie. Unable to do anything else, I merely shake my head and I hear Claude groan. In one swift motion, he pushes me down to the ground, pinning my hands by my head as he frowns at me. Okay, you're not even going to try and find an opening? I glare at him. I'm not going to bite your hand. I gasp. Bite my hand? I didn't even think of that. But you made it obvious. You put your hand over my mouth. I'd meant for you to try moving my hand. Pushing back a person's thumb usually causes their grip to loosen. How was I supposed to know that? Experience is the best means of practice, as they say. I have a complaint about the particular lesson, but I withhold it. That was a pretty good attempt, love, but not good enough, I'm afraid. I wasn't expecting you to come at me like that. I was expecting sword practice. You weren't expecting a man to kidnap you in the alleyway, were you? Point 1. I glare at him, unable to say anything because he is right. You're oddly quiet. It's hard to find an opening to hurt you when you're not really my enemy. He doesn't move, but he continues to stare at me. His face is close to mine. Close enough to what exactly? Yes, girl, tell us. What exactly? Lucette, do you trust me to protect you? That's not the point. I need to be able to protect myself. Because you're planning on investigating the witches on your own? No, I want to be able to protect myself because I do not want you getting hurt protecting me. That's what knights do, though, girl. Claude leans down and I can feel his hair on my cheek. For a few moments, everything slows to a stop and all I can hear is my heartbeat and his slow breathing. Once you set your mind to something, you don't let go, do you? Claude pulls away from me before I can respond, and he's standing again, offering me a hand. Let's get started with some sword work, then. The pleasant smile is back on his face, and I can never tell what he's thinking at times like these. I can tell what I'm thinking. I have a terrible, dirty mind. I'm so sorry, everybody. What are you really like, Claude? Chapter 7, Thorny Rose. Ooh! When I returned to the margin later that night, my hands are scratched and I think I might have bruises on my arms. And with that, we're actually going to end tonight's stream. I need to figure out what I'm doing with this blanket. I have to find the pattern for it again. Also, it is late. And it is getting harder and harder for me to justify staying up too much later because my back is starting to hurt, and also I've been up a lot today. It's been a big mom day. So, but thank you all so much for hanging out and from coming from various channels. Thank you, Melodic and More the Sarah for the raids earlier. That was super sweet. And just remember, everybody, I care about you. We here at Ladies ATL care about you. We also care about Black lives, trans lives, Asian lives. Pretty much everybody that isn't a fucking bigot, we care about here on Ladies ATL. So as long as you're not a white supremacist, a Nazi, a bigot, a TERF, pretty much anybody that just decides to put hate out in the world. But if you are one of those people, for whatever reason, please get off my channel. Please go away. But yeah, come check us out on Friday, where we will be back with Hunt for the Heart Shards, doing a special 405 episode return right before I go on my maternity leave, and then next time you see me, I will probably have a small potato. That is the hope and the dream. But yes, thank you all so much for being here and hanging out. I hope you all had a wonderful evening. Go get some sleep, or if you're gonna go enjoy another person's stream, hang out. We're probably gonna go raid somebody in a second. So yeah, have a wonderful night, and I will see you all later.